And we're live on Inside the IFL, episode 32. Not that anyone gives a fuck, but here we are. Ed, what's up?
Same old shit, different day.
You ain't telling me something I don't know. This episode's going to be a nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish last. So let me be the biggest dick in the yard.
Okay.
That's where I'm at right now. So that's how I feel. That's where I'm at, and that's how I'm gonna be. What do you think?
Hey. That's what has to happen. That's what has to happen, brother.
So, yeah, I'm hoping a lot of people listen to the playback on this because this is the only way they're gonna get the information. Is on here. I'm not even gonna post this shit on Slack. So if guys don't know how to follow the rules, then fuck them. So I keep debating if I even want to do a season 2 just because of the simple fact of the inactivity we have in season 1. It's absolutely fucking embarrassing. It seems as if no one gives two fucking shits. We got people that don't care. We got people who care little, and then we got people who think they run shit. So, I just need to find guys who care. Give me a reason to want to return next season. Give me a reason to do this next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, I've been thinking about this shit long and hard, going over everything long and fucking hard, determine whether or not I want to do this again, because it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. And the answer is clearly I want to. But is it worth it is the question. And right now I don't feel I have enough reason to do it. But I'm going to at this point. So here's what's going to happen for all owners. Next season, you will be required to do these following things. You or someone on your team will be the statistician for your team. You will report stats within 48 hours of games ending. End of discussion. Failure to do so, team owner loses his job. He loses his team. Done. Power rankings will be submitted within 48 hours of the final game of this week being played, or owner loses his team. Period. You will submit a playbook each and every week. If it has not changed, just say no changes. Failure to do so, you will lose your team. End of discussion. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've done my part of being the good guy. I've done my part of being the nice guy. I've done my part to be cool. I've done my part to chill. I've done my part to relax. I'm over that shit anymore. I'm just not doing it. There's plenty of people in this league who talk to me behind the scenes and mention things and say things, and I see things. I just don't mention it. I notice things. I just don't comment on it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I bust my ass for this league, and I get little to no respect back from most of the league. It's just a select few guys, and those select few guys know who they are. Then you got guys who don't show up for games, but they're on podcasts. You got guys who don't show up for this, but they show up for that. Now, I understand things conflict. There's a conflict of interest, and there's two different leagues that people are involved in. I get it. I understand that. But games take precedent over anything else, and I don't care what league it is. If I'm doing a podcast right now and someone else is doing a game, I would hope your ass is in the game. It's just the way I look at it. And some people, their activity, submitting playbooks, vanished when another league picked up, what it was doing. So that's what I don't need next season. I need guys who want to be involved 24/7. Guys who want to be future owners. I need your uniform codes. I'd say by the weekend of the first playoff game. So next week. By next weekend, I need all uniform codes. This way I can get them done, get them installed, get them set up. Because I'm going to see if Kyle Walsh can help me in putting together the graphics. If not, I'm just going to screenshot them off the freaking thing myself. This way I have them for when we make owner announcements. Failure to do so by then, you become ineligible to be an owner. Simple as that. It's not that difficult to follow simple instructions. That's how I look at it. We got Allen, Mighty, Cody, uh, Chisholm, all them guys in there. Cool. Anybody who has a current team and you're going to make a color change or a logo change, same shit. Need your stuff too. This way I can get that stuff all done. Kyle's got enough shit on his plate. The fact that he might even be able to do this for me as it is amazing. So I don't want to freaking give him a day and a half to do it. I want to give him a couple weeks. Because if I get everything to him by next weekend, it gives him 3 weeks to possibly do it. And it's still only a possibly because he's got too much shit going on. So that's the way I'm doing it. And I've already got color codes from a bunch of guys that I didn't think were going to send color codes and whatever. Guys that know they're in the running. They're the ones who need to send their color codes in case they get a team. And I'll give you the guys who honestly should send color codes just in case if they want a team. That's Alex Darr, King Cannon, Mighty, Chisholm, Thomas Goodhart, Spurgeon, my son, the Capones, even Alvin Cotton, who was really, really active and then he vanished. I don't know where he went, but he's still in the running. Six Killer, Charlie Monk, Macho Fog, Mario Savage, Jimmy Cash, Surfman Fuller, who vanished after a while, Matthew Soper, Colin is still got some points. Silver Goose, who also vanished. We had a couple new guys come in there all together, and then they kind of vanished. Anybody I mentioned has double points, as in 10 or higher. There's a big list of guys who have single digits that, quite honestly, could still get in there because the furthest guy back of getting in the top 8 is 58 points back. You can make up 58 points in one day. It is doable. You just have to freaking put in the time and the effort and be active. It's that simple. Send me a suggestion. Send me news from the website. Be a part of this podcast. Retweet. All kinds of things you can do. You score points big time. So that's simple. Like I said, you get points for posting on Slack. Hi guys doesn't count. Comment on the videos that we do. Share the videos. All that shit will get you points if you really want a team. Teams can be earned rather easily just by putting in the effort. That's how it is. So all you guys I just mentioned, if you are serious about getting a team, let me know by sending me your color code. If you do not want to be considered any further, let me know so I can remove you from the list and stop scoring your points. This way it saves me some time. Yes, I do have Chisholms. There's no doubt about that one. And I had to say I like it. I do like it. I didn't even send it to Ed yet, so he has no idea what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure I get that to you. But
all right.
TJ's in. So thoughts on everything I just said, because I really didn't run any of that by you prior to this.
I'm cool with everything you said.
Mighty says remove him from the list.
Okay. Mighty doesn't want to be an owner. Okay.
Don't mind me. I'm also playing an NCAA 14 Dynasty game. I'm the East Carolina Pirates, currently taking on the Middle Tennessee Tech, or Tennessee State Blue Raiders. So, playing my game. Allen, enough with the glorious thing. Allen clearly has no clue who Bobby Roode is, since he's all of a sudden on Bobby Roode. Oh, boy. Bobby Roode has been the fucking dude for what, 15 years? Maybe longer?
Oh, yeah. Easily.
So, yeah. But everything he mentions today is glorious, and it's been quite annoying. Yes, Blue Raiders, indeed. All right. If anyone in there currently has a thought, a question, a comment, let me know, because I'm going to get into some playoff talk here in a minute. Well, that sucked. I just did a screen pass for -9. Wow.
Well, he said he remembers him since he was with Team Canada.
Yeah. You don't need why. I mean, say. All right. We're going to wait another minute, see if anybody's got any questions, thoughts, playoffs, discussions coming up.
Yeah, TJ says playoffs.
All right. Well, if someone says something about it with something else, I'll get into it. But let's get to the playoffs.
Cool.
It's week 14.
Holy shit. Here already.
We announced 2 teams had clinched, but by doing our paperwork, if you will, and our research on it, it appears as if 3 teams have clinched because I cannot find a way for the Flight not to make the playoffs. And that's basically because of circumstances. But I don't want to say that's a fact yet. So don't quote me on it just yet. I just have a gut feeling they pretty much are clinched in. Just we don't realize it. But I know it might come down to points. And if it comes down to points, it might lose. But I just don't see it happening because of the schedule.
Yes.
And I'll explain this to those who are totally confused about what I just said because I just confused myself too. Now, Flight plays Boston. If the Flight wins, Boston's eliminated. Clearly, the Flight are in. And the reason why I say the Liberty are eliminated is because this is even assuming Tokyo loses. Tokyo would get in on points. You know, and in the series. I have to double check the series, but I'm just going based on points right now. I do think the Flight Boston lost both to Tokyo, did they not?
No.
That's right, they did split. That's right, they did split. That's why I was on. That's why I have the points wrote down here. Okay.
Second game to shut them out.
Duh. See, why do I write down notes if I'm not going to remember what I wrote them down for?
That's true.
So yeah, they
See what
split. Happens. That's what happens when you turn 40. So they split the series. That's why I have the points wrote down saying that Tokyo would get on points. Okay. If Boston beats Philadelphia and Tokyo loses, see there, Philadelphia gets in despite the loss, and Boston would be in. If Boston beats Philadelphia and Tokyo beats Baltimore, now this is where the fun one came in. I had to sit there and do the due diligence on that one and figure out who was going to get in here and who's going to get in there. So if Boston goes to 7-7 with a victory, it drops the Flight to 7-7 with the loss. Tokyo would go to 7-7. Philadelphia gets in again with Tokyo because Philadelphia's got the tiebreaker on Boston. Then Boston and Tokyo have split, so that goes to points.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, Boston must win to have a chance.
Right.
The only way Boston makes the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, is with a victory and a Tokyo loss. That's the only way. And that's why I said every scenario I just went through, Philadelphia gets in. A win, they're in. A loss to Boston, and they're still in if Tokyo wins. If a loss to Boston and Tokyo loses, they're in no matter what. That's why I say they've clinched. We are down to the 4th and final slot. And is it going to be Boston or Tokyo? That's where it's at.
Yep.
You know, real simple. Real simple. Tokyo, you win, you're in. That's how I look at it. Tokyo cannot not make the playoffs as long as they win this game. Because even if they have the tie record with Boston, they get them on points. And Philadelphia can't be leapfrogged by Boston because they had the 2-0 tiebreaker. So, based on everything we just said, give me your predictions. Who gets the final slot? Will it be Boston or will it be Tokyo?
Just by looking at how everything's been playing out and how it's been looking lately, you'd have to go with Boston.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, just since you mentioned that about Boston, I'm going to go back to week 10. Boston lost to Baltimore, correct?
I believe so.
In week 11, Boston played Tokyo and won a shutout.
Right.
Week 12, Boston played the Cobras and got a victory. Week 13, Boston played the Pack and got a victory. So if you do the math, okay, Boston has won Week 11, Week 12, and Week 13. They are on a 3-game win streak. That
Nice.
has been lost. Not many people have discussed that, but Boston's won 3 straight games to put themselves into this position. I don't think you realized that till I mentioned it, did you?
No, I didn't. To be honest with you,
Yeah, and it all
that's pretty
started
cool.
with the shutout. It all started with that shutout. So that's where they're at. We're going to have to bring it up. Philadelphia pretty much told us he threw in the white flag and he's given up and surrendered. And quite honestly, that made me disgusted and have yet to talk to him about it personally. And I'm not going to get into it too much here in the air. But
Yeah, I have to agree. I was pretty disgusted when I saw that myself.
you know, and as a result, his team isn't what it should be. And quite frankly, by him throwing in the towel, he may have manipulated some game finishes, not intentionally, but some teams may have won games that they shouldn't have won, or vice versa, because of the lack of commitment, which affects the playoff picture. But, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it now. So,
Right.
they're going to get their shot. And here's the thing: Boston's been trying, Philadelphia has not. So that looks good for Boston. And based on the pick'em, they lead 9-6, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that you heard him say he beat Chris Davis. He threw in the flag.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go with the theory: Boston gets the victory. Can Tokyo get through Baltimore? They're at home. Thinking hard on that one, are you?
What's that?
Can Tokyo at home get through Boston?
I'm gonna say no.
So let's just assume your 2 picks come out correct. The playoff picture would then be Arizona 1, Baltimore 2. Philadelphia would be in the 3rd slot. Boston would be in the 4th slot, which means our playoff picture would be Philadelphia goes to Baltimore and Boston would go to Arizona. How do you feel about those 2
Yeah.
games?
I'd say the championship game would be Baltimore and Arizona.
Okay. Let's see what we got going on in this chat and see what other people are thinking, what other people are saying, get their thoughts. White flag playoff team. Well, Alan says he clearly was mentioning Boston. Okay, so Alan, you have Boston winning. I want Alan's opinion since he threw that up, and TJ's in there, Mighty's in there. I know Chisholm is in there. If these guys will throw their predictions in, Philadelphia, Boston, who do you guys got winning? And Tokyo, Baltimore. Now I know Mighty and TJ are going to say Baltimore, and they have no choice. That's who they playing for. You would hope you'd pick yourself.
Yeah, I just Tokyo's just not the same team, and it just, I mean, everybody's noticed it. Everybody's been talking about it. They're just not.
TJ's picking Philadelphia to get the win and Baltimore. So based on TJ's predictions, he has Philadelphia. Obviously, like I said, they're in the playoffs, but as a result of Baltimore winning and Philadelphia winning, he has Tokyo sneaking in the last one. And Allen says he believes Boston will have the best shot at beating Arizona. Wow. I haven't heard anyone else make that statement before. So, Alan, if you could elaborate, that'd be great. Give us some reasons for that. I'm curious as to his reasoning for that one. I'm trying to think of the matchups. And both teams, I think, survive on the defense. That's for sure. So you got the all bronze offense against that Arizona defense. And then you have I don't know what word to use for Arizona, because 1 week they're on, 1 week they're not. They're not consistent in my book against that heavily loaded defense. He says they're best against the run. Boston won't lose to Philadelphia due to their setup. Alan making predictions. I like it. I like when people chime in. All right, TJ, I'm going to go to you. Since you picked Philadelphia and Baltimore to win,
Yeah.
does Tokyo defeat Arizona in the playoffs? Because that's what the game would be. Holy shit, my guy just got decapitated.
Awesome.
He says no.
He says no.
All right. Don't forget that Jax Diamond mentioned last week that he was going to beat Arizona. He said Tampa Bay will win against Arizona. He pretty much guaranteed it. Does anyone believe that that can happen? I mean, this is a Tampa Bay team who's coming off a victory over New York. The week before that, they beat Carolina. And they're on a 2-game winning streak right now as well, Tampa Bay. So I don't want to count them out too much, but yeah, they don't want to disrespect the team.
Alan said no chance.
And then TJ says drugs are bad. So
okay,
I believe both of these guys are saying, Jax, you have no shot, and lay off the drugs.
Okay.
Alan says the main reason is because Tampa Bay's defense is too weak. There was a time where Tampa Bay's defense was in the top 3 most of the season overall. And then it did start to fall apart. There's no question about that. It did come apart for a while. But recently, I think he's gotten it back together. So, I mean, I can't elaborate too much on the games this week. You know, I get the playbook submitted to me. I know what changes teams make. So, I'm excited for all the games this week, to be quite honest. So, getting into these games.
Yeah.
Let's get into these games, and we'll just jump into the first game that has absolutely no bearing. That's the 5-8 Carolina Pack at the 3-10 New York Cobras. What is your thoughts on that game? I mean,
Pack should win that.
It affects nothing involved with the playoffs, which, you know, that game will lose a lot of hype as a result. But, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the Pack are going to win. The Cobras are working on trying to get the highest pick of the current 8 teams. And I do want to touch on that because you and I have had a small discussion about this briefly. So since I mentioned it, the expansion draft, those 8 teams are going to all draft by themselves. As of right now, it's probably going to be anywhere between 3 and 5 rounds. And then when we get to the league draft itself, we are going to rotate. It's going to go expansion, current team, expansion, current team. So whoever finishes last this year will have the second pick in the draft. I think that's fair. What do you think?
Sounds fair to me.
So that's how we're going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have the expansion draft, and that's what I said. And whichever owner of the new expansion teams has the most points, he will have the choice of first pick in the expansion draft or first pick in the regular draft. And whichever one he picks, that, like I said, that determines where it goes. So when we have these 8 owners, whoever picks 8th in the expansion draft will be picking first in the league draft. And then whoever picked last will pick first in the other one. It's that simple, and everything just flip-flops. I think that's the simplest, fairest way to do it. And I'm giving the guy with the most points the choice. You like that, or should we make the choice?
No, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think give him a right. Give him a right because he's earned the points. That's how I look at it. He's got the right to make that decision. He earned that team. He earned his team more than anyone else. Let's give him something that he can, do, so to speak. So that's why I did it that way. So if they lose here, New York's going to pick second overall in the league draft. And we'll see how the rest of the draft falls into place. But it's going to be it's going to be interesting to say the least. But, yeah, I'm with you on it. We'll move on from that game because there really ain't much to discuss, unfortunately. But I think we're both taking Carolina. And based on the pick 'em, it's 9-6 in favor of Carolina. So now we'll go to the next game that has no bearing on the playoffs whatsoever. And that is the 4-9 Tampa Bay Stallions at the 12-1 Arizona Outlaws. Thoughts on this one?
You would think that Arizona would win that pretty easily. You would think.
Yeah, you would think.
But
I'll throw it out
you always keep telling me anybody can beat anybody, but I don't know.
Well, Tampa Bay, like I said, they've come on the last couple of weeks. They found something, but it is Arizona. That's the thing I keep telling myself. It is Arizona. Would I give Tampa Bay a shot against New York? I'd pick them over New York. Would I pick them over Carolina? Yes, because they've beaten Carolina twice now. Would I pick them over Boston? This is a team in the playoff hunt. I don't know because of that defense. Boston's defense is ridiculous. So if I don't know if I'd pick them over Boston, I'm sure as hell not going to pick them over Arizona.
Right.
But yeah, if I'm a betting man, I'm picking Arizona to win that game. And I'd say at least by 2 scores. And again, that's no disrespect to Tampa Bay faithful, but that's just what logic tells me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, now the 2 games that have some bearing. In the draft. Or the playoffs, rather. Okay, first one will be the 9-4 Bulls at the 6-7 Kitsune. Oh, by the way, Arizona leads to pick them 13-2. So, but yeah, back to the 9-4 Bulls and the 6-7 Kitsune. What do you think about this game?
All Baltimore. I just think Tokyo's a completely different team than what started the season. They don't look the same. They look out of sorts. They just look, yeah.
Well, week 7, these 2 teams played. The Bulls won 45-38. So they got them the first go around. And that was not a shocker to anybody then. And based on what you just stated, it's kind of where I'm at. I think a Tokyo win this one would shock people.
Yep.
Because of everything you just said. Everything you just said holds true. And it is what it is. Let's just face it like this. Tokyo is 6-7. 6-7, right?
Right.
Do you remember their last victory?
Honestly, no.
It was in week 10.
Jeez.
They beat Tampa Bay. They have lost week 11, week 12, week 13. And these are the teams they lost to. Boston, who at the time was 3-7. They lost to the Flight, who was 6-5. And last week, they lost to Arizona, which is nothing to get all sneezy about. It's Arizona.
Right.
So they lost to, at the time, let's face it, a team that wasn't going nowhere in Boston at the time. They lost to a team in week 12 that already admitted by week 12 they threw in the towel and weren't trying. And then they lost to what most people call the best team. So you got the best team, the White Flag and Sectides, and a team that had no shot at the time. So they covered all the criteria of what they could have played and lost all 3 games.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you come in and you get Baltimore, who's, in my opinion, getting better each week.
Yep.
Baltimore lost in week 12 to Arizona. Okay, week 12 to Arizona. Do you know when their last loss was before that one?
I'd be early in the season.
Right. Do you know how early in the season?
No.
Week 6 to Philadelphia.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. They lost in week 6 to Arizona. Their only other loss since then was to the best team in the league per record, They've beaten everybody else.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, sheesh. That's why when I see statements of, I think Baltimore might beat Arizona, Baltimore could be the team to be. I can dig it. I can dig it. I mean, they've lost Arizona twice, but they did play them well both times, and Arizona did pull away in both games near the end. And TJ's played this game long enough. Mighty's played this game long enough. After 2 shots, if they're going to figure it out, you'd think they'd have it after 2 shots. So if they get a third shot at them, look out. So that's why if I'm Arizona, I am not, what's the saying on count your eggs before they hatch or something?
Right.
That's what I'm doing right now if I'm Arizona. I'm not doing that because anything can happen right now. So are you taking Baltimore or are you taking Tokyo in this one?
I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah. I'm taking Baltimore by double digits, to be quite honest.
Wow.
And that's just honesty. Double digits. That's how I look at this one. All right, now it leads us to the last game, which might be the most important game of the week because of the playoff picture. And you have the 7-6. Oh, wait, let me just say it's 12-3 Bulls in the pick'em. So now you got the Flight that are 7-6 at the 6-7 Liberty. And Boston has to win. This is a playoff game for Boston, plain and simple. A win, and they're probably in. And I shouldn't say probably because they could win, and Tokyo pulls the upset. Now they're eliminated.
Right.
So, and depending on what the schedule is, because it's something you and I didn't go over as far as the schedule goes, and we probably should have because there was part of me that wanted to flip flop some scheduling around. As to when games are going to take place and when they're not going to take place. This game, to me, this game could possibly be the best game, the game of the week, so to speak, because of its importance. Part of me wants to make this game last, just for the simple fact, if Tokyo has lost to Baltimore by then, we know this game, if Boston wins, they're in.
Right.
So hell, or this game could be the first game of the week again based on the schedule. And assume Boston wins, then we wait later to see what happens with Tokyo. So we know if Tokyo loses, then Boston's sitting at home waiting. Yeah, gotta lose. Oh, that's got to be fun for the owners, to be honest. Damn it, I miss being an owner. Now, it drives me nuts. This kind of stuff drives me nuts because I love this stuff, and I'm not a part of it as far as being an owner. So one of you guys go out there and create a third fantasy league, so I can, or team league like this, so I can be an owner. Oh my god! But who are you picking in this one? I think you already said you're picking Boston. What's the reason?
Oh, I'm taking Boston. They're on a fucking roll, man. Plain and simple. They are on a fucking roll. They are trying, and they didn't quit.
Right. They didn't pack it in.
And honestly, if they lose that game to Philly, that's going to be a fucking travesty.
Based on the circumstances, yes.
That's just how I feel right now. Because I think that's fucking bullshit to just fucking throw in the towel. Yeah, I'm not sugarcoating shit no more. I've been fucking heated ever since I saw that, but I haven't gone on there, haven't said nothing. But now I'm speaking my piece, and honestly, that's bullshit. That's bullshit to everybody in this league. That's bullshit to just football fans in general. That's just fucked up.
Wow. There you have it. Ed's take on it.
I mean, good God, look at Boston. Boston has gotten no respect all year long, but yet they still keep trying. And one of the guys that has given them the most disrespect all year is the guy who said he quit. That's fucked up. So I just don't get. I don't. I understand if if you come to the conclusion, shit, I screwed up. I shouldn't have done this. But why just pack it in? Why quit?
Yeah.
That's where I'm giving Boston credit above everybody else because that team did not quit. They went with something, they stuck to it, and look where they're at. They're that close to the playoffs, and nobody gave them a chance. And I'll be honest with you, I was one of them at the beginning of the season that said there's no fucking way because I didn't think they'd be able to do it because of the all bronze offense. But damn it, they got Marcus Bose as an offensive coordinator. He's been figuring it out. That defense has been kicking ass all year long. And where are they at now?
Possibly one win away from the playoffs.
And I'm just like, and like I said, I don't care if people get pissed off or whatever. But honestly, and I'm going to keep saying it, if Philly wins that game, it is a fucking travesty. Because Boston has busted their ass all season long to only lose to a guy who said, fuck it. Really?
Yeah. Yep. And I refuse to rig games to make things happen, so we'll have to see where this game falls. And it'll be aired live, completely live. So that there alone will prove
Honestly, I want to. All these people that are in here, I want to know how they felt about that when they saw that he said, "I threw in the towel, I quit, I gave up." I'm only worried about next year now. Honestly, as an owner and as a person, person involved in that league, I want everybody right now to put in the chat, tell me exactly how you felt about that. Because if you put on there, you're not pissed, then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
See, Alan said him throwing in the towel made him sick.
Yeah, it bothered me. Like I said, it bothered me greatly. I haven't talked
I know when he posted some stuff, I know Mighty posted shit. Mighty was trying to tell him, dude, why would you do that? Why throw in the towel? Why not keep trying?
Mm-hmm.
I just...
It's mind-boggling, man.
Oh, it was, yeah.
I mean, shit. If anything, here's how I look at it. If anything, if he truly honestly felt he was that eliminated, that no longer involved, maybe, just maybe, then you don't give up, is my opinion. You still try, but if you're going to be to that point where you're going to quote-unquote give up, what I'd have done then is I'd have at least worked on shit for next season. I just believe that's what I'd have done.
And Mighty just posted. You saw the discussion I had. He didn't understand that thinking either. I was baffled by it myself. I'm just looking at why. Alex is in now. He said true. He said true. Nobody in here understands that thinking. It blows my mind.
Right. And I'll put it out here. I might as well. Like I said, it's not something I had the opportunity to talk to Chris about, and I'm sure he's going to listen to this playback, so he'll hear it. But I actually had 2 of the 7 owners, because there's 8 of them. He's one of them. So 2 of the other remaining 7 messaged me and said he should lose his team for that.
Wow.
So I actually had people say that to me.
It doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't.
And that's why I'm bringing this up, because I don't make decisions. It's not for me to do, because this is not my league. This is our league. So I didn't make a decision on that because it's not something I took to the forefront for everybody yet, because I honestly hadn't thought about it myself entirely. But since we're here on the air, we got guys in the chat. I threw that out there. So you heard what I just said about there was 2 owners who thought that it was bullshit and he should have lost his team for them actions. I want some honest opinion to that thought. what people think. And since I got you on the air, what do you think about that statement?
I can completely understand why they would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, really good. And if the league as a whole votes for him not to have that team, I'll be all right with that.
Allen says he'd suspend him from the playoffs.
I just wow. You know, and you and I because we had a little discussion about that because I was heated, and you know, and I told you, and I'm gonna tell everybody exactly what I told him. If we were playing for money and stuff like that, and you knew you screwed, and it was no choice, you know, you weren't gonna win, you weren't gonna. Maybe I can understand throwing in a towel because it's like screw it, you know. But you're not. You're just playing for pride. You're playing for, you know, maybe a little bragging rights. I don't see the point of just quitting. I just don't. It's like, you know, and then he, you know, I think he made some comments where, oh, I can't beat Arizona. I don't care what. No, I'm not. Wasn't going to do it. No, so I said screw it. I threw in the towel. How do you know? You know,
one small adjustment.
Doug has told me, you know, have argued back and forth in private conversations because I thought there's no way teams were going to win. No way in hell. You know, but then he would say, anybody could be anybody. You never know.
Takes one adjustment, and it could be all the difference.
And he's, you know, and the more and more I've watched the games, the more and more I realize Doug's right. Anybody can beat anybody because the thing is this, like I keep saying, and I've said all year, and everybody else is, we don't push the damn buttons to the game. We're not playing it.
Yeah. Well,
this is all.
You saw Stevie.
This is all luck. I forget what he said, but
he said that he feels his team's been more lucky than good because they've had 5 or 6 games. 5 or 6 games decided by 6 points or less, and he happened to win them all. There's got to be some luck in there regardless. Let's just for sake of argument say he had the better setup, the better game plan, the better everything, more deserving of the win. Fine. But still, it takes luck to win them all.
That's right. and I agree. This game is luck. This game is, you know, more and more I watch it, the more and more I am convinced that somehow part of it, they got the AI wrong in situations, but they got the AI right in this game because this AI, it looks like it makes, you know, changes on the situation and on what, you know, how the team is built, and you can see it. You see it happen. It's really, you know, I mean, how many times have we said, oh, the AI screwed this or screwed it? But at the same time, if you watch these games, it's amazing what it does.
Right. It's definite. And like I said, and I'll give Chris the credit on that when you talk about it because it's Chris's due diligence that got us to where we are as far as that goes because he's the one who messed with the sliders. He's the one who played with it. Mm-hmm. He developed – he's our in-game developer is what I'll call him. He's the one who made it happen. So he gets the credit for that. You know, and that's one of the reasons – it's one of the reasons why I take it with a grain of salt because without him, this league wouldn't be there it is. And I think Allen's just joined us, so he needs to mute the call or turn down his YouTube video.
Turn down your volume there, bud.
Allen sent me a message. Don't let me go live. I'll explode.
So, hold on, let me fix my face. I look terrible.
That's going to take you a while, so we'll be here talking when you're done.
Mighty said he'll catch us later. Had to get back to work. Don't work too hard there, Mighty.
And Alan, if you can, mute the show.
Actually, I got it off, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got the echo fixed.
Got it.
On Alan's end when he called in. It was on the beginning of the show, too, because I forgot to mute the chat. So, You said
Alex,
if you got on the air, you were going to explode. So
hold on, just before he explodes. Alex just posted that the 2-minute drill sucks. So
yeah, the 2-minute drill in every video game on simulation is absolutely horrific. So what are you going to do?
there are aspects to the AI that just blows my mind.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, we have also. I mean, the whole early in the game, and they try to get somebody to jump off sides, and you waste a timeout. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's just completely dumb. And one thing I hate is you got the ball. Whether you're winning or losing, I don't care. It's second quarter, and you get the ball with like 28 seconds to go, and you'll run a play, and it'll be a dive, an ISO, or whatever. And then they'll run back to the huddle for whatever, and then the quarterback will sit there and trying to get everybody in, and they'll call a timeout real quick just to freaking gun the ball down the field when you were sitting on 3 timeouts. Timeout right away, line up, run another play. You know, that's the thing that drives me more insane than anything else, the way they do that shit. And I don't even know what to think about that when I see that, because that just drives me absolutely insane. It's like, really?
Yeah, I wish they would go back to the. I wish what they would have done is took it to the NFL 2K, where they wouldn't act so stupid. For some reason, that final 2 minutes, it's so ridiculous.
I've had one owner tell me, and I kind of believe this, the 2-minute drills for teams, he said, if you paid attention to the season, it varies from team to team. He believes it has a lot to do with their playbooks. Some teams' playbooks are more designed to hustle, get down the field quick, where some aren't. I can buy that to a degree.
Yep.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, you got Philadelphia that they're a run team. We've had a lot of shotgun in our plays, and for some reason, I mean, we basically every time we try to huddle up, and during the 2-minute warnings, I mean, we've not had a lot of success, but except one game when we came back and actually beat Philadelphia. But I think a lot of teams without the shotgun, it really kills them.
Possibility. And that's honestly something I don't know the answer to. And that's why I like the information when it was provided to me, that this person thought that was a strong possibility to the 2-minute warning drills.
Yeah, another thing is, you see some teams that go to the no huddle right away. Other teams, you see them never use the no huddle. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I wish I knew what that
was. I think I actually have a hint, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it actually has something to do with gold quarterback.
Could be.
That's interesting. Never thought about that.
And that was another thing I was thinking, though, is not necessarily the tier, but what if certain abilities on a quarterback could activate that.
New York does that a lot. I mean, had played this in constant game.
Can you imagine if one of the abilities you could put on a quarterback was no huddle?
Oh, good Lord.
He was an expert.
It might be. It might be in the editor.
Wouldn't that be something? Now it's got everybody saying, "Oh, I want to go no huddle all the time."
Wow.
But do y'all finally not have no headaches this week since the kids are back in school?
Oh, I still have headaches.
Yeah, still recuperating. Takes about 2 weeks to get adjusted.
I'm surprised you're not taking naps this week, Doug.
What do I need naps for? I'm not a baby.
Well, you work during the night.
You and your naps, your umbrellas, and now you're on Glorious.
Hey, I love that song.
Oh my!
Don't make me sing it.
Oh no! If he goes to sing it, he's getting muted.
Who? Who's getting muted?
Alan. If he goes to start singing that Glorious, no.
Oh, you gotta let
I
him at
have
least
two boys.
do the first verse.
I have two boys here that try to sing it all the time and drive me crazy.
Yeah, I remember when he was in Team Canada when I was like a kid. He used to be on Fox Sports Net. Yeah, I've kind of
Yep.
followed his own career. Who's this Jones people keeps on talking about? The one that got suspended. Who is that?
Don Jones,
Who is that?
John Bones Jones.
UFC light
He just
heavyweight.
won he just won the light heavyweight title, and
Oh,
he got
must be one of them MMA guys.
yes. And this is what second time in how long that he's been
His timeline of
cheating.
dumb shit is ridiculous.
Oh, really? Yeah, because I've been following like 5 different things because this morning because I went to bed like at 8 o'clock last night because I was stayed up all day yesterday
You need a nap.
and yeah. No, I've been up since 6:30. I slept
6:30.
till 8 till 6:30. Yeah, 6:30 this morning. I was wide awake.
I've been up since 5:30. Got you beat.
I got an interview tomorrow. I got to I had
Nice.
to change my schedule. I got an interview for KFC tomorrow.
Nice. Well, good
Yeah.
luck.
Well, third one, I'll probably get denied again. I mean, it's whatever. I supposed to have had one at Abernathy, then was a retirement home for a dishwasher utility person, but no, found out it was volunteer work, so I canceled that one. So this is gonna be my third one.
Alrighty.
But y'all ready for me to explode?
Uh-oh.
No. I want to hear you sing first.
Oh, Jesus.
I can just play it, but I don't want to get muted on YouTube.
Sing it, man. If you're going to have it in the background, sing with it, too. Got to hear this.
Glorious.
Oh, Doug does.
I won't give in till I'm victorious. I will
It is
defend. I will defend.
I'm not going to lie. It is
He's finally
it is
singing.
it is kind of catchy. But after you hear it 600,000 times, it's like, oh, God.
I played it 100 times, and my mom got a headache this morning.
I can tell you now, my two boys, Drew jumped off the couch. Dwayne tried to jump off the couch. Yeah. They're like, Bobby Roode. I'm like, oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, they were excited to see Adam Cole in NXT.
Yeah, then it's like minor league when you got Shelton Benjamin coming back, and when Bobby Roode comes back, I mean it's like, oh, Shelton Benjamin's back too. Oh well.
He said, "Oh well."
That's awesome. Shelton
Yeah.
Benjamin should be
Yeah,
a multi-time world champion by now, but they screwed him over.
Yeah, and he's up in age. I mean, what I've heard, I mean, they're gonna daggum have Rude facing Orton, which I think is absolutely stupid. I'd just give Rude the title, have him come in, kill Mahal, and have him because he's already up 40 years old, and you don't know if when he's gonna have a bad accident at with his age on him. Give him the title while he's still got stuff left in the tank.
Okay.
But, they're not going to do that. They're going to have him wrestle Randy Orton, blah, 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 blah. It's like that. WWE wastes talent. I could spend that on a freaking hour talking about the WWE.
Yes, but let's get back to IFL.
Yes,
Yeah,
You were going to explode, you said.
exactly.
Feel free to explain.
Well, I saw the comments and everything, and I was trying to be the one that calmed down and everything, and he's like, blah, we'll see, it happened every time, blah, blah. He said, I got swept by Yo-Yo, swept by Arizona, and the person that should be pissed off right now, because, I mean, basically, besides Tokyo's about to do the falter, but the second, team that, kind of had their falter was Carolina. I mean, they got upset in the final moments against Tampa Bay, and they got kindly destroyed against Boston. And it kind of just pissed me off. Him without math. I mean, unless Boston scored like 200 and some points, which is impossible in this game. He just throws the towel, and it kind of frustrates me the way he does it. And I'm spending hours with Matt Sunday preparing for New York, and trying to improve our offense and stuff like that. Just preparing for next season and everything. And him just folding the flag, and him in the playoffs and everything. You don't fold your flag. I mean, I think it's completely bullshit of him. And I mean, this is like the second time. I mean, the first time he did it privately, but you go on there and just blast and put at channel, at channel, and get everybody's attention. I mean, it's supposed to be a drama free league. Like I told that guy from, the other league that came in last night, I told him, I'm like, I don't mind you staying here, but just make sure you don't promote over there and don't start drama. If not, you're going to be kicked out. And, him just starting drama with all this folding. I mean, you've got plenty of teams like, Tampa Bay, they made a run. New York. I mean, there's plenty of teams that would love to make the playoffs. I mean, I got to give Jack Stammen credit. Jack Stammen, I mean, he had 3 wins at the time. And him just not folding his tent, I mean, maybe he'll go surprise. I wish him the best luck against Arizona because, he surprised me. But, I mean, people like that, it just, spits on our face. I mean, him doing that, and you got teams that, are working on their team, even though they don't have one freaking shot at the playoffs. But him, just fold it, and him still having a chance to win the title. I mean, anything can happen in this game. This is one crazy, unpredictable game. I've seen it, and I've seen it time again. And stuff just reminds me every day of how unpredictable it can be. But for him to, just fold the tent with one game remaining I mean, and him guaranteed most likely, to either play Baltimore. I mean, I have no idea what he was thinking. And it just shows, I mean, how uncommitted he is towards this league. And I mean, for like Alex Dar, I mean, and his, players, I mean, for them to, basically have their owner to say, hey, I'm done till next season. I mean, it just, that would be, I mean, as an owner, and if I did that to my team, I mean, I could see Ed or, Dwayne just, pissed off at me.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I did not give up one time this season. And I mean, I probably made Doug's life a living hell this week with all the changes I made this week. But, that shows my gratitude towards this league. And we have, I mean, I know I can find people that would be willing to, have a team and them not folding their tent. Just, I mean, of all beyond recognition, not even, you make the playoffs. I mean, you only win 2 games, you're champions in this league. But for him to, just throw the towel in is beyond reasonable, and it's uncalled for. I mean, it's just a major spit to me, Taco, and, Jack Stammen. It's just a spit to our face of how much work we put in our teams, even though we don't even have a shot to win the title this year. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I mean, look, Boston could have threw in the towel a long time ago. They didn't.
exactly.
Like you,
I mean, Tokyo. I mean,
like,
Tampa Bay. Jack Stammen could have thrown the towel. I mean, look at him. I mean, I mean, he was eliminated right before he played us, and look how he did. I mean, he destroyed our freaking offense, and did enough on the defense to win the game. Even though Tampa Bay and Carolina, is evenly closely for some reason matched, but I mean, there's plenty of times. I mean, Tampa Bay, I mean, they prepared this. I mean, they're on a 2-game winning streak. I mean, I don't know how many people done power rankings, but I actually had Tampa Bay in the top 4. Just because, I mean, the way I do my power rankings, just not because of the standings, I do it over the hottest teams in the current spot. And for Philadelphia, for Davis to do that, he's done it in the past, and there should be major consequences. I mean, there should be a league vote on the owners. What there should be of his doing, because he's had a vote before, of a warning, and this time I believe there should be something, done. But that's y'all for decide. I mean, I'm just giving suggestions.
Well, that's not for us. That's just that's for the other. That's for the owners. The other owners.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all I gotta say to Alan. That explanation was just glorious.
Oh, you're doing it now?
Wait over his head.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Alex says, yep.
Bring the band hammer.
Wow.
But I mean, I know
honestly,
for the
Alex
other
is a player
people.
on the-
I mean,
and he's already
Alex,
said
he
that.
could run the team. I mean, Alex, I hate to say this. Alex, he would run the team. I mean, and I can guarantee Alex, I mean, I don't know his, experience with the game or anything, but Alex, I mean, if you was like, hey, you take over for the interim season, I can guarantee you freaking Alex would daggum do a lifty job than, Chris for the rest of the season. Alex would at least try. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just a spit. Carolina soon to be Minneapolis organization. It's a spit to Tampa Bay. I mean, it's a spit to the league overall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know TJ, and if Baltimore wins, which I suspect them to over Tokyo. No disrespect to Ramos. Happy late birthday live. I know you're probably going to listen to the playback. You're probably at work, but no. But if you're looking at Baltimore, I mean, Baltimore, is just like, hey, I mean, we want a challenge before the championship game, and they're just I'd be pissed with them also. Because teams work hard, try to win the title.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch TJ's question quick.
Go ahead.
I have no update yet on that, but it's still the plan. I hope to be able to do it. So we'll see what happens, because chances are, if I do it, and that is live commentary during games, the game would probably have to be aired live, and that's all going to come down to scheduling here at home. Because I got a wife who likes to listen to the TV on volume 163.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Ed's going to test that. We've talked funny times. It's like, what you say? Can't hear you over the TV.
It's a little loud.
But
yeah.
But I can't. I mean, you can't really say nothing. It's her house too, so.
Yeah.
And I'll throw some other stuff to you, Doug. After the season, you told me, wait till season 2 to start. I mean, I've talked to a couple people. They want to definitely do commentary. I've already told you about that, and and I can tell you this. Matt has finally got a 360, so he's good to rock. He's got a version, so he's ready to rock. And
that's a virgin?
No, Matt
you said
got
version.
He got a copy of the game. He's ready to rock.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah. Yeah,
Alex said he'll do it if you need him to. He can commentate.
yeah. I mean, we'll have our commentators ready for next season. They
Well,
ain't no big deal.
all I can say is this about next season
Mm-hmm.
is it's become clear to me that in this league,
Mm-hmm.
nice guys finish last.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm no longer going to be a nice guy anymore because
Bullshit.
I've done my part. I'm just trying to look for the words because I don't want to be too much of an asshole, even though I just said I'm not going to be a nice guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done my part to show support for other people, other leagues, other situations, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And fact of the matter is, this league exists because somebody was a
Mm-hmm.
piece of shit. This league exists
Right.
because someone was a piece of garbage. This league
Mm-hmm.
exists because of et cetera, et cetera. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care the excuses people give me to continue to support said person makes you an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
To be in that league makes you an asshole to me.
Right. I agree.
It doesn't mean I don't support you myself. It doesn't mean I don't want you here. I honestly just find it disrespectful to me on a personal level to support that guy. You know, I was told I
And
did more
I
damage.
think I
Shut
think
your
I
mouth.
know I think I know part of the
I did more
reason
damage.
why people are going there than finally picking up on us.
Well,
And I kind of got to explain to me last night, and I don't know if the guy, the new guy, is part of, I mean, I told you last night to watch him very closely. I mean, you know, we know he's from there, and I got confirmation, and I told him, I'm like, hey, if you don't start no drama over there, and everything's, we're cool with you being over here. We don't care. But I mean, I will admit, there's people on in that place over there that completely hate me and Duck.
well, like I was saying, so you jumped in on there, is
Yeah,
I have
sorry
owners
about
in
that.
this league. I have owners in this league that have gone AWOL since that league started their season. I have owners in this league who've done little to no work for their team here once that league started up. And that pisses me off. To me, that's just as disrespectful as guys throwing in the flag. That's why I made the statement, and baby brother actually put it out online today of if you don't want to be here, just say so.
Like
Show
it's, I
respect
mean,
because it's just simple. Guys flock to that league for whatever reasons there are, and to me, there's no excuse to flock to a league where the guy running the show has clearly indicated he's an asshole, has clearly indicated that
yeah,
he's a liar, has clearly indicated that he's a fake, and clearly indicated that he is a fucking worthless piece of shit. His ship was sinking. The castle was about to fall apart, so he had to build a moat. Yeah, that's enough
and
for Brian Moat.
like I told him, and
He had
like
to
I
go get
told
that.
them,
He had to go get that guy. He had to bring that guy in. He needed to bring this guy in. He needed to bring that guy in because of the simple fact he needed all the help, all the support. Guys
mm-hmm,
are all enamored by the glitz, the glamour, the hoopla, the vision, the graphics. You know, quite honestly, you're going to support a guy because of images. You're going to support a
mm-hmm,
guy because of graphics. There ain't nobody on this show right now that'll listen to this playback can give me a valid reason why you continue to support somebody who clearly indicated that he's a fake, a liar, a piece of shit, and I have proven
mm-hmm.
his fucking games are rigged. It's been,
Yeah,
it's clear, it's obvious.
it is clear.
Yet people are still over there, and I find it very, very funny that people said to me, "Oh, you're the piece of shit because you made guys pick, you made guys choose what
Nope,
league they're in."
nope, nope, nope.
Never did it.
Wait.
Never did
No,
that.
no, no. Because the fact is this: the only ones that are there and here
Mm-hmm.
are owners or coaches. Anybody else that was there and here got ran off from over there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
I agree.
He banned them all. He banned every last guy who joined the IFL that wasn't an owner or a coach. It's the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones.
Yeah.
And it's
And I can I
and
make
I'm
a
the one.
comment about that? I'll
Bullshit.
make a comment about that. I mean, You know who you are. You might have a moat, but I will say this: I got a mountain of a man and a couple of non-draft bust in my high places. So, if you want to play those type of games, I got them.
I don't need that
Wow.
though.
Exactly. If I need to
I
make
just
the
want to have
call,
fun.
I can always make the call. But I'm trying to
And I'm
have
gonna say it
fun.
here. And I'm gonna say it here on the air. The support Cam knew who it was. He was,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned, I can't verify it, I can't prove it, so I probably shouldn't say it, but I will anyway, because he's shown his colors more than enough. As far as I'm concerned, he knew who was doing it. He knew who was doing it because he set him up. He's the one who told him to do it, as far as I'm concerned. And it was brought to my attention, who it probably was. And we did our due diligence to figure it out, and it was probably Andy fucking Hamilton.
I agree.
And I'm not, I'm not going to be nice guy anymore. And I'm not biting my lip, and I'm not afraid to put things out here on the air. TJ's the one who brought that to my attention. I do believe that's who it was. When TJ gets mad at me for mentioning his name, then so be it. But I'm not biting my tongue no more for shit. And here's why: I keep getting emails day after day after day after day after day because of that fucking league. And then people want to say I'm the only
I agree.
We're the only ones who talk about it. Well, the only reason why we're the only ones who talk about it is because we're willing to defend ourselves and speak on it live on the air and not in private channels like they did about my tenure in that league.
But you know something? You're being so. I'll tell you this: he is being so freaking biased. His own president gave us quotes. He gave us praise, and I don't see him. And the only reason he's keeping him around because he wouldn't have no rosters to play his little games.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you ban people over other stuff, in support of this league. That shows your bietism right there.
Well, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're kind of going off, and then I will say this because I know anybody. Him and I have been talking for 7-8 years now. I know him pretty well.
Right.
I knew this was coming because him and I have been talking, and it's been eating at him. So anybody who's shocked all of a sudden that this happened, you should have known this was coming. Because honestly, it's getting to be a little ridiculous. Because when the support Cam person came over, I went over there during one of their games and said, hey, just to let you know, this guy's over here trying to start stuff again. Right away, they jumped on me going, how's that Cam's responsibility? Really? When that was one of the major damn reasons that Doug was banned from over there? Because he said he couldn't control this and couldn't control that. But yet, how's Cam supposed to control that? Really?
Yeah, and I will say it
cannot
this.
have. Let me say this. Cake and eat it too. The fucking world does not work that way. You can't say it over here and then do the opposite over here. It's not how it works.
Depends what benefits.
And honestly, it's pissed me off. And I've already, and I'll say this on the air, and I don't give a fuck. If I was not married, kids, I'd be in fucking jail right now.
Oh, I agree.
They have pissed me off that much.
It's not that serious, is it?
Oh, it's that serious. Because I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of them being, when you try to say, do something, they try to turn everything on over against you and make you look like a piece of shit. No, I'm done with that.
Oh, I
like
agree.
I said,
and the people who support me leave there. Simple.
If this was, 20 years ago, I'd already been going down the road to Athens, and you know who I would have kicked his ass first.
Poor guy.
Who's this Hammer guy?
Because this is honestly, I'm tired of, like Doug said, whoever They use it to their advantage, and whatever's good for them is good for them. But it's not. No.
Yeah. Real simple.
You know,
And to
there's
touch
no
on what
reason.
you were saying, when you went to that chat room, is we were told by a Cam person, if this shit happens again, please let me know so I can handle it.
Exactly.
Well, when it happened again, you went in there and handled it. And this is what pisses me off more than what you were just saying. You're pissed off because they're like blah, 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 as in reference to where I couldn't control people and it was an issue. Well, he's clearly not controlling somebody and it's not an issue, but that's not the big story for me. The big story for me was Cam didn't tell anybody to shut their mouth. That's what he wanted us to do. He just let it happen. He wanted us to look bad. He's deliberately probably asked us to do that, knowing the best way for us to reach him might have been during a game one day, and now we look stupid. Set us up. And like I said, now I say it one more time on this air.
Yeah.
If you are in the fucking SF motherfucking L, you don't support me at all. That's my opinion.
And I will say this. Can I say it on live? And you think I already know.
Okay.
But, you know, when you're given a responsibility and your responsibility got interrupted by personal life, but after that responsibility was taken care of, you're in there chatting alone, and you know who I'm talking about.
Talking about Cody Prime. Cody Klein,
yeah.
His name is. From the door, he mentioned he had issues with things. I'm not going to mention it on the air in case it was true, and God forbid it wasn't true. I hope it wasn't. Don't wish that kind of shit on anybody. But if it was true, hopefully all worked out for him and the family. But yes, during that whole time, he was continually doing Madden videos. Those were the things that got guys like NY Kia lose his team. So I don't have time for this and this, but I'm doing my Madden videos. So he was continuously doing Madden videos. And then he's over there doing this and doing that while telling us, oh, I can't this and can't that. All you got to do is be a man, show some class, show some respect, and say, hey, look, I don't want to do it anymore. Simple enough. That's fine by us. Hopefully you'll still stick around.
Exactly.
The league, and but there you go. Don't sugarcoat it and lie to me. But that's
even, you know, I mean, I will say this. And yes, you know, everybody knows the truth, and I will say this: I've been the SFL spy. I've seen it. Just, you know, I pop in there. I don't comment or anything, and you know, Doug knows this already. I just see what people are saying over the league. I don't say anything. I don't cause any drama.
I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention.
But when I seen him commenting about the SFL games, that pissed me off. And Cody, I will say this to him: when I feel happy for you and your family and everything. But you know, when you have a responsibility, or if you're unable to do it, at least come in to IFL games.
You know what irritates me even more? Is he's told not only me personally, but the league his situation. He told the league his situation. And yet when he showed up over there and did things, not a big deal. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. But the fact is, he told this league he was unable to do things. How many guys in the IFL are over there and no one came up and said, hey, guys, this is what's going on? They just left it secret, knowing that I don't pay attention to that place, which indicates their lack of respect for me, their lack of respect for this league. And that's how I look at it anymore. And like I told Ed, I was going to do this shit. I've been biting my lip on this for a few weeks now because I get emails, I get messages, I get bullshit all the time from that fucking league talking shit. And I've said it before, and I know, and I told Alex. Alex can verify this. Alex was going on Twitter a couple times talking shit. I told him, I said, dude, we're better than that. Don't do it no more. That's not going to be our way. That's not going to be how we're going to play this. That's not how we're going to win this battle. And to me, he can have 100 members. I can have 10. The game's already over because we have the more respectful league.
I agree with that. The game's
already over because we got the better gameplay, and that trumps everything. You know? And I don't have to pull at straws to make things happen. I don't have to go and do this and do that to make things better. Have to get people to join me to make myself look good. I'm not out there to make myself look good. I'm not out there to make everything about me. And when
I'm
when
gonna
you sit
ask.
there and write heartfelt apologies and heartfelt things that he's done live on the air, it's not heartfelt when he writes the shit down.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's
Go
what I
ahead,
do
Ed.
as a writer. No, speak from your heart, live, like I'm doing right now, because none of this shit's
I
wrote
want to.
down.
I want to know this. I want to say this real quick
Mm-hmm.
because like we said, went and got him, had to go build a moat, and they did their whole thing about how he joined, and that's all great and everything if he did. But my question is this: how come you haven't heard from that guy?
No.
How come he's not going on Twitter or going on here, going on there, going, "Hey, check this out! I'm a part of this. Check this out."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is a place.
I,
This is a place that disrespected people
Mm-hmm.
with disabilities.
I know.
What
Look at
is
me.
it?
I mean,
What is it that you have?
1 year ago.
I'm asking Alex. Alex has what's that? What's it called? Ed, what's it called?
Alex has cerebral palsy, just
Right.
like my son.
Right. Alex
Mm-hmm.
has. I always forget what it's called. I always say CP, but in case
That's
somebody
what.
didn't
Yep.
understand what CP was, Alex has that, and Alex can verify this right here in the chat. Alex was completely disrespected with the opportunity to maybe ever have a team in that league because he had cerebral palsy. Alex was
Right.
disrespected with the opportunity of ever being able to call games because he had cerebral palsy. Fact of the matter is, Colin Northrup has shit all over me, disrespected me all the way. And I know Alex
Mm-hmm.
likes Colin, and these comments about Colin could piss Alex off, but it's the truth. Colin would not be an owner in the SFL if it wasn't for me. Nobody was going to vote for him because Cam didn't want him to have a team because his medical problems. Cam didn't want him calling
He has
games.
cerebral palsy too.
Right. Cam didn't want him calling his games because of his issues. And I'm the one who fought for that shit. And if it weren't
Mm-hmm.
for me, he would not have the things that he's in. And I want to see somebody deny it because I went to owner after owner after owner, vote for Colin, give it to Colin. Colin deserves the team more than anybody else. Here's why. And he got the
Yeah.
votes, he got the respect, he got the love, and he got the team. And how did he repay me? By not even coming here and being active. He stayed there with a guy who treated him like shit when he didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
But
And
that's
look
cool.
at the first story.
So Ryan
It's
Moats,
happened since last year.
does Ryan
It's
Moats know
happened
this?
since last year.
If I'm you,
I
Alex,
mean, look
I'd
at
tweet
me.
Ryan Moats about that.
Look at me. I mean, look at me. This was the first case of, it showed biotism. And the problem was I was in there, got fired from Houston. Well, technically, I basically quit on Houston because I know the way Damon was doing and wouldn't give me control of the freaking offense. And he would not, give me control of the running back and everything. And, he would do his own little crap, but let San Antonio do whatever with that defense. I give him advice. Don't use Bear. I was like, don't use the 4-4. It's a waste of abilities on that defense. That he said, you need to shut up and focus on the offense. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you wouldn't give me control on the offense. But after you let me go, Cam, I beg him help Carolina, defeat Cleveland that one week. He comes on to me and says, you are banned from coaching next season and or ever of an ownership because I didn't notify him. I was a free agent. But yeah, he wanted me to stick around and put money in his little pocket. I quit that league and I burned it. I never got banned from that SFL. I quit because I knew where he was coming from.
Dougie.
Yeah.
Alex wants to know if you can send him so he can get on here.
Oh.
Because I'm sure he's got a lot to say, and I think he deserves to say whatever he needs to say. Because I'm not going to lie. Me and Alex had our issues, but at the same time, what was done to him was wrong.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And honestly, I'll throw this out there. Job calling a game here. and I thought he did a real good job with everything he's got going on. And then shortly after that, all of a sudden, I know this might upset you, but I don't care. His good buddy is now calling games for the other league.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
No. You don't give people chances.
I honestly expect people to quit the league over this. And I don't give a fuck. Because I've bit my lip for fucking 14 weeks. Well, actually longer. About all of this. And like I said, when I get email after email, message after message, bullshit after bullshit, I just keep it to myself because I don't want the drama. And
hey, Doug.
Guys tell me, well, I support you and I support Cam. I support both leagues.
Hey, guys.
Blah, blah, blah. While I like that idea and I respect that idea,
Alex.
the fact of the matter is, you cannot respect me and give me your full support like you claim if you're supporting the guy who's done nothing but try to ruin who I am, ruin my image, drag my name through the mud, make me look like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, it is.
I agree with you guys.
It's a choice. Guys almost have to make a choice. It's either him or it's me. And most of them are going to go there because he's got the more established league. He's got all the pretty glitz and glamour and this and that. Well, what he doesn't have is a fucking dick and balls. He doesn't have respect. He doesn't have maturity. He doesn't have any of that. He's a fucking punk-ass kid who was bullied in high school. Now he runs something and thinks he's a hot shot.
And I will say this, and I'll give Alex credit. I mean, Cam, I agree he can call announce it, but I will say this. Alex could do way freaking better than Andy Hamilton, Chris Curtis, whatever his Canadian name is, and Eric Vincent. I will say that. I will give credit to Alex. Alex is one of the best commentators out of them three. But you don't give him a freaking shot is completely biotism on his behalf.
Well, since we got Alex on here, like I said, I mentioned how he got shit on because of his CP. And I did say, Alex, if I were you, I'd tweet, send an email, phone call, telegram, dancing telegram. I don't care. Whatever you got to do to Mr. Ryan Moats and be like, hey, congratulations for joining a league that's shit all over me because I have freaking medical problems. Congratulations, you're a part of something like that. Open the guy's eyes because he doesn't know the half of what he got himself into.
I've even thought about going on the Sim Standard Google Hangout and telling them about this shit.
Yeah, they're too big. Yeah, unfortunately, they're too busy smoking weed about saying how good Madden 18 is.
Madden 18 is actually pretty decent.
It's decent, but it's still the same game as probably Madden 04.
From what I've been playing, the target passing seems to actually... There seems to actually be a skill gap, which I don't know how much longer the skill gap's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But
they done the same thing in Madden 09. They did the same thing about 9 years ago in Madden 09. But no, I mean, Alex, I feel sorry for the way people treated you over there. I mean, you blew them three clowns out of the window. And I'm not scared to tell anybody that.
Thanks.
And, I mean, with your condition and my condition and everything, I mean, he basically shits on people with disability problems.
Back.
That shows his image right there. And I'll agree with that.
Cannot be denied. And how he can have support is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
my
Maurice is in the chat now, so what do you miss? Oh, we've just been kind of getting everything off our chest because we're just tired of the bullshit.
I'll say this, Maurice, if you don't want to hear anything about that other league, I would not want to listen because I know he's, neutral.
Well,
He wants to listen neutralized on that.
I understand that. But here's what I'm going to say to Maurice, since him and I talk a lot privately. I've been dealing with more bullshit, Maurice, behind the scenes, more crap that's not out in the public through emails and other shit. And I'm honestly tired of the two-face. I'm tired of the I support both. When at the end of the day, it's impossible to support me. It's impossible to support me. I'm going to say that a second time. If you support the other guy when he has done nothing but shit on me and disrespect me to no end. And I've just not bit my lip today. This is the first time I have let myself have loose lips and say what I want to say. And and like I said, I'm going all in on that bullied kid from high school who now runs shit and thinks he's a hot shot and thinks he's something special when he's
Well,
been manipulative of so much for so long, and people just keep letting it go, keep sucking his little tiny dick and believing he's some kind of god and loving his league and what he's got to offer, this, that, and the other. Not once have you ever heard him show any respect to the IFL. Not once have you ever seen him say anything credible about us. Not once have you even seen him say anything in a slightly of a positive form towards me, towards Ed, towards Chris Davis, towards this league at all. But you've heard all of us do that on multiple occasions. That alone speaks volumes. And that's not even going in on all the shit that's happened. Just that
Yeah, and
statement alone is fact, cannot be denied, and everybody knows it. But yet he continues.
well,
He has.
I'll say this. I'll say this real quick, because like I said, if anybody's shocked that Doug's finally going off, I'm not. But I can honestly tell you this: we talked this morning, and he says, "I've had it. I don't know what to do. I can't take it anymore." And I told him, I said, "Dude, get it off your chest." I said, because if you don't, it's going to get even worse. I said, and then when you do blow up, I said, it's going to be really bad. So I will take all the blame for this one. Because I got big shoulders. And I don't care.
There's an echo somewhere.
Yeah, I can hear it in my headphones.
So whoever's got the
forgive me, got it on speaker again.
It's just, like I said, when he tells us to do this, because he come in there after all that support cam crap went down, and then he came in, oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for nipping this in the bud. If it happens again, reach out to me. You reach out to me, and then you get blasted for doing it. Really? You ask us to do. And then you don't have the balls to tell your people, I told them to do this, guys, so please let them alone. No, he just let everybody blast you, do whatever you want. So, I don't, for the life of me, and I've told Doug this many, many times, I don't understand he has over all those people. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have Schmitty on here, the one who runs the relocation football league, because he reached out to Cam, and this isn't word for word, so don't quote me word for word, but it's basically the gist of it. Maybe someday I can get him on here to say this himself. But he reached out to the SFL long before the IFL existed, and tried to do a partnership thing where they wanted to work together, do this, do that. He's got the Madden world, he's got the All-Pro world. It would have been the best of both worlds. And Cam wanted to do everything his way, which I'm not going to knock a guy who wants to do it his way. He's been running his league for the way it is, this, that, and the other. I can't blame him for that. But at the end of the day, he pretty much shit all over Schmitty. Basically told him everything he was trying to do was a joke. He was a joke. His league's a joke. He'll never be as good as him. And that's basically what he told him. And just gave him this pompous attitude that he was basically God and Schmitty was a piece of shit. So Schmitty just, oh, fuck this guy, and he just went away from him, and he shows no support for him or that league. And like I said, don't quote me on how it went down precisely, but I know that was pretty much the gist of it. And if you think I'm lying, Schmitty's on our Slack. Reach out to him and ask him. He'll tell you.
Yeah, and he's got it right now. He's kind of busy because of his football getting ready to start.
Right. It is what it is. And Maurice, I'll reach out to you later, one-on-one, if you're still on Slack or whatever. We'll speak. But because I like to talk to Maurice personally, because Maurice has been the most. I don't know what word to use. So I'm just going to use something tender. He's been the most loving, if you will.
I'll be on in just a second. I got to talk to my daughter. She just got home from school.
All right. So I don't know what word to use, but it's something I would rather talk to Maurice bluntly about one-on-one, because he deserves that, because he just does. It's the end of the game for me with him. So that's just the way it is. So if you're not busy when we get off this podcast, Maurice, you and I can speak personally. So, but
You want to put a can into that one because I do want to talk about one more thing.
What's that?
How many people submitted power rankings?
I have not had more than 5 people submit power rankings for the last 6 weeks.
Get off your lazy asses and daggum start submitting them. Like I told this, I was like, if you don't submit them, you're lazy ass. It takes 5 seconds.
And like I
I've
said,
submitted mine for the past 2 weeks.
and I said, if guys don't want to take the time to submit some real power rankings because they just don't want to do it or whatever the case may be, just copy and paste what the standings are going to be and call it a day. Because if the standings say that's the order they're in, no one can argue for putting that together as your power ranking. But you submitted something. That's why I stated, since you touched on that, next season, all owners will need to submit power rankings. Owners will need to submit playbooks, and if there's no changes, you tell me no changes, and either yourself or someone on your team will be doing your stat.
Do you need all uniform combinations or just primary right now?
As of right now, I'm not, and I'm going to say it, I'm not the SFL. I fucking hate multiple uniforms. I fucking hate it.
Pants?
It's fucking annoying. If you want to have black pants at home and white pants on the road, I don't really give a shit. But I hate having 3 different uniforms, 4 different jersey colors, 6 different helmet colors. It's fucking annoying. When I tune into the NFL,
pant colors.
When I tune into the NFL each week, I love knowing who's on the field because they're wearing the same uniform they did the week before, unless they're doing the stupid, ugly ass color rush crap.
Well,
I'm not the SFL. I refuse to be the SFL.
Teams change, pants all the time.
Not really.
I do.
Not really at all. Some teams have different home and away pants. That's about it. And some teams will do an all black uniform, or like the Saints, they've done an all black uniform, and then one week they go back to the gold jersey or whatever. But there's a reason for it because of what game they were playing that week and what they were on TV or something. But it's not just done at random.
I agree with me
personally, I don't like it. I want teams to have a home uniform, an away uniform, and that's it. Because now we know who each team is. We know the brand. Now, I don't know how many times I turned into SFL, and it's like, shit, who's playing? Let me look. Because I couldn't tell because the uniforms were so different. Which is fine. If you're into that kind of thing, I'm okay with if you're into that kind of thing. But for me, I just fucking hate it. Especially when you were able to have a uniform that made no sense. Now, I took advantage of it, sure. I did the freaking Shark Attack, which was red and black, when our colors were purple and turquoise. But, I'm just not a fan of it. I don't plan on doing it.
Well, you should at least, give one, at least pant colors, because, they do that on college and high school all the time.
Well, this isn't college or high school.
And I'll teach you how to do it. So you just want the primary right now. And then honestly,
I want the primary right now. I want the primary tomorrow, and I want the primary next week, and I don't want nothing else. The IFL will not have alternate shit.
You already said before. You said you would.
No, I said I'll think about it. After I thought about it, I realized it's fucking stupid. I think it's stupid. I just think it's stupid.
I agree with Doc here.
But okay, but you know what? I gotta back up. I gotta put myself in check. It's league rules. I'll let the league decide. There you go.
Like I told you last week,
the league
you gotta put your horse into your saddle every once in a while.
But that's how we go. I'll let the whole league vote on it. The league wants it, we'll do it. I don't think it'll pass.
I think it will.
Vote for just.
I'm about the size
home and away. That's it.
I get 4 votes.
I agree.
But since I want to get back on IFL and have fun here, because that's what we're trying to do here. Since Alex was not on the air.
Sorry, I got off there, but my daughter just home.
And ask him his playoff predictions. We've pretty much figured out that Philadelphia is pretty much locked in. Who's taking that 4th slot? Will it be Tokyo or will it be Boston, Alex?
I'm thinking Tokyo.
So you feel Boston will lose to Philadelphia this week?
Yes.
Not in a million years.
Even though your owner has Quit.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said, "Yeah."
Can I give mine since you not asked me?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will say this. I believe Boston has the best shot of beating Arizona. And I'm not gonna, spoil the reason why, but I will say this. It's part of the defense, and I discovered something last week during our game that I've noticed about, the running backs and how it can be neutralized.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered it last week during the Boston game with Clapper. And I've noticed something that Boston has where teams don't have. And I believe Boston will beat Philadelphia. But the game I'm very intrigued by is if Tokyo can get by Baltimore. Because Baltimore really don't have anything really to play for, and I don't know how much preparation they're wanting to. With Tokyo, because basically they're number 2 seed anyway, and with Ramos and knowing TJ's strengths and weaknesses, and him knowing money from the CAG league, and him knowing his plays and everything, I believe that's going to be a close game. And my four, I mean, I'm going with my prediction. I believe it will be Boston and Arizona playing next week, in um, Philadelphia and who's that third team, and Baltimore next week. That's what I believe. But it would not shock me that Tokyo would win to cause Boston to miss the playoffs.
Now we did a vote. We did a vote this week for game of the week and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get some opinion of the three of you that are here on the air. And if anybody's still in the
Mm-hmm.
chat, then please drop your opinion. Game of the week is normally aired Friday by itself. That's normally when it
Mm-hmm.
airs. But because of the circumstances revolving around games this week,
Mm-hmm.
do we change that? Because as of right now, the game of the week has been voted to be Philadelphia at Boston. Does that
Almost
game get the game
unanimous.
by itself Friday night, or do we air that game later? Now, here's what I'm getting at.
I'd vote that.
Baltimore and Tokyo. Baltimore and
Mm-hmm.
Tokyo is a big game as well. If Tokyo wins that game, it doesn't matter what happens to Philadelphia and Boston. We know the
Mm-hmm.
playoff picture. But if Tokyo loses, the winner of the Boston Philadelphia flight game determine who gets in the playoffs, whether it be Tokyo or Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, do we air that game first? This way we know, okay, say Boston pulls the upset, because it'll be an upset based on records. So they get
Mm-hmm.
the win. Now we know, okay, Tokyo, if they win, they're in. If Tokyo loses,
Mm-hmm.
they're out. That's basically what it'll come down to. So for me, I'm thinking we ought to stick to what we've been doing, and that should be the game of the week and run when it should be run. But what do you think?
I believe Boston and Philly should be Friday. And
Yeah, stick to what
as
we.
owner of the second place game, I am revoking not playing, at the prime time game, and I'm wanting what it should be is, Arizona and Tampa. This is how I would put it. Friday night, I'd had Philadelphia and Boston. At 12 o'clock, the first game, early game, I would have Arizona and Tampa Bay, because they did not receive any votes. And if with your Taco's permission, I believe he wouldn't have any issue with this. I would revoke, the second place game and put that at 3, and have Philadelphia, the Tokyo and
I'll be right back.
Baltimore game, the third game.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Yep. I mean, I would invoke, my second place, because we did receive one vote.
Apparently, Doug had to pop out for a bit or something. Doug, you
Hey Ed, you still there?
I'm here.
Do you agree with that? My scheduling.
I think it should be changed.
Who you think should be the
I
first game?
think I think the it should be if we're gonna change it, I say the games that don't matter should be played first and out of the way. Then the two games that matter the most should be played the last two games.
Well, with the USC event, dug into that, won't we have why don't they just do see if they can do that one, those two Friday night, and then Boston and Philadelphia first and second, Tampa, Baltimore and Philly.
So I think we should have the two games that don't matter, have them first, get them out of the way, because it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter who wins, who loses. Unfortunately, it's not real nice to say, but that's just the reality of it.
What I do, I just tape them, can them,
and then have either Philly, Boston first, and then Baltimore, or Baltimore, Tokyo, and then Philly, Boston, whatever. But those two should be the last two games of the week, because those are the two that mean the most.
I know, because I mean, even where you received a vote, I mean, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I mean, we just received one vote, which, if I would change my vote just to.
And honestly, I'd put it on, and put it up to the league, see what they want. Do they think the two other games, the two games that don't matter first, and then the other two, the last two games of the week? So then.
Well, they voted, and they want Philadelphia and Boston the game of the week. They've already voted, but I don't know who voted for us, but I would definitely want Tokyo and Baltimore in the spotlight before New York and us.
Right.
Because even though we got the second place vote, if it takes it, I mean, I believe you would change your vote also, and I would put Baltimore and Tokyo on the spot.
Okay, I'm back. I'm listening to what you were saying, huh?
Okay, here's how we want to do it. We're okay. If it okay, Doug. This is, I think me and Ed's agreed something. Okay.
Like I said, I think it should be up to the whole league.
They've already decided.
I know they. Dude, I'm telling you. I understand they picked what game they want as game of the week, but we did not give them the option at that time if they wanted when we should have it. Now we're giving them the option to figure out when they want it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would the Outlaw game be the game of the week?
Well, didn't get anything.
Because once again, there he is, disrespecting Boston.
Further down. And leave it down.
And they're playing his team.
Okay, now, here's what I'm going to ask you. Are you listening?
What's that?
And this is for the whole chat. There's two games that mean playoff contention. Two games this week. Flight at Boston, Baltimore, Tokyo. Now, Flight at Boston got the most votes clearly for the simple reason of it's obvious. We all know Baltimore. We all know Baltimore's in. We know
Guys,
that.
I'm getting that.
Tokyo has to win to get in. The same with Boston. So one of those games is going to be the last game aired. Which game should it be and why?
And see, that's what I said. I said the two games that mean absolutely nothing should be the first two.
Right.
And then either Baltimore, Tokyo, and then Philly or switch.
Well, should we do Philly Boston last because it got the most votes? Somebody's got the echo. Mute the show.
Put it on speaker. You know it does that. All right.
We good?
No, what I'm trying to figure out, Doug, is if it takes it, I would clearly change my vote where, Arizona and Tampa Bay, not Arizona, Tampa Bay. I meant Baltimore and Philadelphia would get, the spotlight instead of Carolina and New York, because right now on the stats, it's got daggum New York and Carolina the second game, which I don't believe should happen.
Hold on. Before we get into this, Mr. Davis is on here, and he asked, "I disrespect Boston. When did I disrespect Boston?" And the answer is, all year long. There's been times when we've got on this show and we would talk about Boston games, and your answer was, "I don't want to talk about that. I don't need to talk about that." I've been part of the shows. I've paid attention. Bo Davis has reached out to me many times and go, "What did I ever do to that guy to have him do that to me?"
Well, I will say this, Chris. Boston's done one thing that no team has done, and I will admit this. They kicked my freaking ass. No team in this league has done that all season until last week. And if you want to daggum disrespect Boston, there's a fact for you. And that has the schedule. Boston is the only team that's kicked Carolina's ass. And I'll take my beating and wear it proudly.
But yeah, like I said, Bo has reached out to me several times. Says, "What did I ever do?" He said he never talks about my team. When he does, I don't care. Don't need to talk about that. You have said that many times on the show.
I will say this. Marcus and Bo both outcoached me, and I wish them best of luck in their playoff hunt this week. I'll tip my hat. They outcoached me. They kicked my ass, and, they sent me for season 2.
Okay, I'm working on the schedule, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay, making sure I have this right.
Hey, Doug.
What's that?
We was wondering something, though. Since you got your Mayweather, McGregor, whatever his name is, fight Saturday. I wonder if you could actually possibly do 2 games Friday and 2 games Saturday.
Oh, you got to get ahead of me.
That's what Ed was talking about.
Yeah, well, that's already been taken care of. I have the schedule right now. I'm taking it right now. I just typed it all up. I'm dropping it right now in everyday chat.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has it. And I'm going to announce it here on the air. Times have changed. Schedules have changed. Things are different. So guys know. Okay. Here's what we got.
All right.
And I will read it to everybody so they have it. Friday, August 25th at 5 p.m., the Stallions at the Outlaws will be live. Friday, August the 25th at 8 p.m., you will see the Pack at the Cobras. I said the Cobras. The Cobras. That will be live. Then the 2 games that mean something will take place Saturday, August the 26th at 12 p.m. The Bulls will be at the Kitsune. And Saturday, August 26th at 3 p.m., the Flight will be at the Liberty. All these games will be live. And then I have here, the Outlaws, Bulls, Flight have all clinched. If the Kitsune wins, they're in. If the Liberty wins and the Kitsune win, the Kitsune clinches. If the Kitsune loses and Boston wins, the Liberty clinches. If both teams lose, the Kitsune clinches. Good luck to both Ramos and Bo Davis on clinching that final playoff spot. And yes, I bumped the time slots up because yes, I'm ordering the fight. I'm watching the fight here, and I will need to get everything prepared for the fight going on 7 o'clock, and the game will be over well before that. So we'll know who's in the playoffs.
So
It'll be a one-round blockout.
So you're gonna waste your $100 on that, huh?
When you got 3-4 buddies coming over and we're all gonna split it, it's not too bad.
Hey, you
No,
can
they're
throw.
not.
Hey, you can mention on air. What did I thought McGregor was?
You asked me if he was Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican, yeah. Doug told me that. I'm like, what?
I didn't know. I only followed.
When's the last
boxing.
time you met a McGregor that was Puerto Rican?
He looked it?
What? He looks it?
Yeah,
You're
there's
drunk.
a girl that was redheaded. That she was Puerto Rican when I went to school.
What in the world?
Alrighty.
Wow.
All right. I have to get off here because I have to get ready to go get my son at the bus stop.
Yes. I'm about to get over here myself. So, yeah. So I appreciate everybody who was in the chat. Alex, Alan, Ed getting on the call.
Peace out, guys.
Playoffs, man. Next week. Season ends this week. Playoff schedule's been posted. So for everybody who was involved, whether it was on the air or in the chat, appreciate it. This was Inside the IFL. Until next time, we'll catch your ass down the road. Later.